are now tuned into All Bets In with MyGuyz. MyGuyz Sports.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Appreciate y'all tuning in. Welcome to All Bets In with MyGuyz Sports. Season 2, Episode 8, NFL Week 8. You already know this is Bsperl Online, and I'm with Moneyline Rich Will.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Man, what's happening with you, Rich?
Another day, man. Trying to take a little vacation off. We hit some things when we rested, so it's always a task. But I love this week to just be able to watch the games and it's evaluated from a different level. Sometimes you need a break for some things and pay attention to more things. Not just be when you bet your game, you focus on the kind of game that you want to watch instead of just an overall perspective. I just put on the red zone and I just kind of let it play. So that was good. That was good to have.
Yeah. No, it was sometimes it's sitting those weeks out, man, it's necessary, man. When you're talking about the last few episodes, like week 6 through like week 10, 11, it's just it's not the best time. Things start tightening up a little bit, and it's a little bit more difficult to find good games, good value. I mean, there's always plays out there, of course, but you just try
Absolutely.
to find ones that are not as risky as others, so you can have higher winning percentages. So yeah, I mean, I'm not I thought it was a good week to sit out, man. Public got whooped on, so it was pretty ugly.
Yeah, they got slaughtered actually. It was pretty bad. When you posted that stat about the public losing, I was like, this set up recipe for the Niners to get stomped on too. So the writing was on the wall there.
Man, all the way down the line, man.
hmm
Yeah, it was yeah, so I mean it the the part about it that wasn't the coolest thing about it is, even though we sat out, we actually had good good plays, man. I actually
We did.
won some decent bread for the weekend, and just wasn't plays that felt comfortable giving out to everybody, to the audience, just to give picks, man, forcing picks. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you be seeing people all the time that just be giving picks and giving them. Glad we not on that spot.
no, that's never the space you want to be in. But yeah, you gotta understand the market when it's time, when it cools down, when it heats up again, and when you want to take advantage of it. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. But what about NFL news updates, man? What's happening around the league?
Man, I haven't seen a lot of crazy news. I know Ryan Tannehill is what I've seen.
Oh yeah,
For that,
yeah.
I think Will Levis is supposed to start. Injuries are starting to pile up, obviously, for what we've seen. But I didn't see any too crazy besides Staley's job being on the line again.
Trade
Um,
deadline.
yeah, trade deadline's on Tuesday, so there's probably gonna be some action come Monday. I wouldn't be surprised we see some kickoff starting tomorrow and moving forward to that. I don't think Kirk Cousins is gonna move. I think we'll see some moderate moves. I don't know if we'll see anything that's like game changing because like really it's wide open. I mean, I won't say that there's a space where a team just needs to go all crazy to win. Like the Niners last 2 weeks look human, so it's like okay, well, feel like they're beatable. So do we need to mortgage our future for them? Philadelphia Eagles, they got beat by the Jets. They're beatable too. The Chiefs are beatable. So can you hear me? Oh yes, they're Cleveland's. They look beatable. I mean, everybody's just wide open. So for me, it just doesn't feel like it's a space where any team should just give out first round picks for players. Daniel Hunter might be the only one, but I think since he leads the league in sacks, I don't think they're gonna trade him. I think the Vikings gonna try to make a push for a playoffs.
It's
Maybe
it's
Chase Young.
I think it's wide open, but I think there's only very few real contenders, I would say.
So
Um,
if you had to say who you consider contenders,
in the NFC.
on
Yeah, I
both
mean,
sides.
for me, I don't look at it from it's week to week, but also I don't judge a team based off a L that they could have on any given week. To me, Philadelphia and even when the Niners were playing well, I still felt Philadelphia was the best team in the NFC. Um, I think the Niners are probably still right there with them, you know. It's a long season. So as, guys get healthy and, I think sometimes you just get caught, like even like the Lions, people I think now want to discredit them and say that what they're doing is fluke because they got whooped on by the Ravens. And, sometimes you get caught in bad spots. They went and played on a second road game in a row versus a team that, is known for bullying people when they get a chance to catch them at home. And they was coming off a few injuries, so I think they just got caught in a bad spot. I don't think that for me that didn't change how I look at the Detroit Lions at all. I will say the only thing it made me think about is um and which I've been saying the whole time is how good is their defense really? And that's the only question mark that, I'm still left with. But, I still think I would say I probably put them in the NFC behind them and the Cowboys. Cowboys maybe a little bit ahead, and then the Lions maybe right underneath that. But, I still think the Cowboys have to play a really almost a perfect game to beat the Niners and the Eagles. Um, I think those are tough games for them. Not saying that they can't beat them, but they'll be
Go ahead.
underdogs by over a field goal in both of those matchups, I'll say for sure.
I'll say this about the Lions. I don't share that same sentiment. I feel like they did get caught slipping by a team that for them probably is not the best matchup for them. But to me, it just seems like they just lack. I don't see star power on that team at all. I see a bunch of good guys collectively playing together. But when I look for that star on either side of the ball, Hutchinson you could say is a rising star, but I just don't feel like they have enough star power on that team to me to make a serious run. Like I know they're ranked second right now in the NFC, but like you said, a defense live. I can't look on that defense, but like, oh gosh, like there's Aaron Donald or there's Jalen Ramsey or there's Patrick Surtain. Like I don't really feel like they have that kind of star power. Offense they're good. Jared Goff is good. Sam Brown is good. Montgomery's good. I don't see any stars. The tight end could be a star. I just don't feel like, when you play big games, big teams, I feel like your stars come out and win. Jalen Hurts, that offensive line in Philly, Fletcher Cox, all these people, they show up when it matters in, star games and Niners, Christian McCaffrey, Fred Warner, like I see stars. The Lions, I just feel like I think they're okay in that division, especially the division is very weak. But I just don't see anything from them that makes me feel like, oof, like they have star power. Like they're going to fizzle out when the big games show up. Who's going to take over? Who's going to ascend to that spot? I guess right now I just don't see it from them.
Man, I don't know. You
They
look
don't have no
from
real stars, in my opinion,
on
on either
like
side.
I could say defense. Offensively, I mean, they've been averaging like 30 points, like top five in scoring the past 2 years.
Collectively, who do they have a star that you trust to win the game for you? Whether it's a star running back, star wide receiver, star quarterback. Do you feel like they have star power that can get them over the top? Patrick Mahomes, anybody like that, wide receiver, anybody that you feel that can take over a game individually in your space, like can just step up and just do the dang thing. I just don't see that from them. I think they're a good team. It's not taking anything away from them. But when you look at NFC teams, the Eagles, and the Niners, I see guys that can take over a game. I just don't think the Lions have that yet, or they haven't grown into that, I should say, at this point. It's not taking anything away from them. I just feel like the record may not reflect who they probably really are, against great teams. But I just feel like they're gonna beat down the teams they're supposed to. But I just don't feel like they have any real dominance. I would say dominance, real star power and taking over. Like I don't see on that team. I was Jared Goff and go out there and throw 500 yards to destroy them. Can we rely on him? Or if a receiver is gonna go take over the game like Devontae Adams, I just don't see those kind of players on their team. But as a collective group, I think they're good.
Yeah, but I mean, how many teams would you put ahead of them in the NFC right now?
Niners, obviously. I would probably go Niners, Philadelphia. See, I'll take the Seahawks over them, and then toss up with the Cowboys. I think them and the Cowboys are probably even, but I think the Seahawks are a better overall team than them, the Niners and the Eagles. So I would put them probably fourth. And I think Atlanta Falcons will be a challenge for them too. Honestly, they're better than the Falcons. I think they'll be a challenge for them.
Oh, okay. I
That's
mean,
just
I
my
would,
opinion. But for what I've watched, and I think they're good. That's not taking anything away. I just feel like and this is a star-driven league, man. You got to have a good team, but you got to have stars when it matters. In order to go down and win. Joey Burrow, Jamar Chase, like stars win games, and I don't think they have any stars. I think they're just a good team collectively.
yeah. No, I mean, I'm not ranking them ahead of the Eagles or the Niners. To me, that borderline. I mean, I guess there's an argument between them and Seattle. Um,
Give or
there's
take, toss up
yeah, there's a toss up. I give Dallas a little bit of a nod. Um,
a little bit.
yeah, but once again, I don't know how far away they are from not being able to catch any of those teams in a 1 week. If you go back to last year, the middle of the season to now, I think that's only their third loss. I mean, they were running like 13-3 from the middle of the season, man. They've been winning, not just against mediocre teams. I mean, against everybody. They've just been playing good football. I will say I
Who
wouldn't
they
say they
play?
have.
In
Um,
your opinion, who you play to kind of give you that, like, kind of make you feel like they've played great teams in they last 13 games it was?
yeah, I mean, I don't have
Yeah,
their schedule from last year in front of me. But I remember them going on the road, and beating Minnesota. Minnesota was 13 win team last season. Going to Green Bay and winning that game in a must-win game and knocking y'all out of contention. They beat the Bills at
so far,
home
yeah,
for
yeah.
Thanksgiving. Um, and last year we talking about a team that had less talent than the teams that were beaten as well. They weren't as talented last year as they were this year. So, I mean, I think I wouldn't put them in that top category, but I think they can compete with the upper echelon of the league on any given Sunday. They're gonna get caught sometimes too. I mean, Baltimore was what 15. If you haven't seen Lamar Jackson often, it's hard to actually prepare for his speed and so they have a really good record against NFC teams. Um, I don't know. To me, I just didn't put a whole lot of stock into that blowout as far as judging them as being not a viable team anymore. But I can see the other
Yeah,
side as well.
yeah, I feel it. I mean, looking back in October 2nd, they put up that 48 loss, 48-45 Detroit Seahawks. They Cowboys dominated them on the 23rd. Lions, I mean, the Dolphins whooped on them. They beat the Bears. The Bills beat them on Thanksgiving by 3 points, and then the Lions they beat the Vikings, and then the Panthers beat them by 37-23. I just feel like it's been mid. They beat us by 4 points at the end of the game. So they had a 9-8 season. I feel like I think they're a good team collective. I think they're well coached. I'm with you on the defense, so they're gonna go as far as the defense takes them, and it depends on what they can stop, I guess. Lamar Jackson is
Yeah.
hard for anybody to stop, so I don't. It's even, on a good defensive team, he's shredding. So
Defense didn't look good. I would say that. So it
couldn't
definitely,
get any stops.
Yeah, none, and they weren't close to getting any stops either.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, but like I said, it is always those teams. Like to me, they can remind you of the last year's Minnesota Vikings. Vikings went 13-3, but they all 9 games were 6 points or less, one possession games. Like they could have won anyway. So that's why the Vikings weren't as dominant. That's why they got bounced so fast like they did. So I just see I see the Lions as that team. As playoffs are different animals. So you get teams that are physical and they can be physical, but they defense look like they can get pounced on. But I think Jared Goff can shoot out with anybody. But I just don't know if they defense could stop anybody collectively, especially like Niners or the Eagles. That'd be tough.
yeah. No, it's weird. They have good games against some offenses, and sometimes they get shredded. So yeah, I don't have a
Yeah,
good gauge on
absolutely.
that side of the ball for them as of yet. But yeah, no, that's a good question. I actually had on here. What do you think about the league hierarchy, the echelon of the league? So I guess we kind of talked out NFC. What are you thinking on the other side, AFC?
Man, Michael Parsons had me dying on his podcast the other day, man. He spoke some real trill facts on there about Kansas City, saying that they're just kind of they're good. He said, but there's a lot of teams that he feels better than them. So if I had to look at the upper echelons of the AFC, you got to put the Chiefs there because they got a record. But after that, it could be the Browns, the Ravens, the Jaguars. It's a dogfight. The Dolphins, throw the Bills in there. Got to throw the Bills in there because they tough to beat as well too. It's a dogfight right now. It's kind of a toss up. I don't know who's second, but I mean, if I had to tell, the Jacksonville Jaguars are ascending, and I think the way they playing, they're physical, they're fast, they score, they ain't lost a game on the road. I want to squeeze them in a spot, but then the way Cleveland is suffocating people is just it's hard to ignore. Steelers, I think they're overachieving too. I don't think that's real. They're the only team who has a winning record that's given up more points than they scored.
Yeah, that's yeah, that record is pretty fake for sure.
Yeah, I
It's
can't
smoke and
even
mirrors.
can't understand it.
Yeah. No, I'm agree with you on the Chiefs, just because they continuously just find ways to keep winning, no matter, how it happens, who they play, when they play. So I definitely got to put them there. Second to me, I think Baltimore. I mean, this was my pick earlier. I mean, we talked about on uh on episode 0, but Baltimore and Philly is my picks to go to the Super Bowl. Um, and now it depends on matchups, of course, but I mean, Baltimore
Absolutely,
really could be undefeated right now. They really tricked off 2 games that they probably should have won.
I
Um,
agree.
and Lamar Jackson is getting better each and every week, man, just
Real
as a
comfortable in that
quarterback.
offense. He getting real comfortable in that offense.
Yeah. And I think they got another trade they can make. I'm seeing them pop up as Tennessee is looks like to be fire selling right now almost. Just traded the
If they get
safety
Henry
buyer.
over.
Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
hearing his name being linked to Baltimore. So, they got some
Yeah,
they not far from
I agree. They're not far at all.
yeah. Um Miami, I think Miami has the best offense. But I'm not sure what to think about their defense just yet. It's I'm not sure. I know Fangio, much respect to him. He's a great defensive mind coordinator. I'm pretty sure he'll figure it out or get it turned around, and then they get Ramsey
Gotta get his
back.
boy back. Yeah, gotta get his boy back.
They get
Having
Ramsey
Jalen
back.
have Ramsey back out there changes a lot, and I think it's underestimated how much is really going to change. Because then you got 2 cornerbacks you can put out there, and that makes it really difficult because you can put Ramsey on your second guy, put Howard in your second guy, or switch them up. They can travel the receiver. They don't have to move. They can stay in their spot. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that's going to go.
Yeah. I mean, good player. He's one player. Oh, I mean, maybe I know he makes them better. I don't know how much does he turn them into a top 10 defense? I don't know. I mean, they
Well,
seem to be, if I had to just eyeball test, they seem to be, I'll probably put them middle of the pack, 15 to 18 range right now. I don't have the raw stats in front of me, but
yeah.
well, how far does he move the needle? Because they don't seem to be close to being elite right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that on that. I just think having a cornerback who can have his own island changes your scheme, what you can or cannot do, how fast you want to draw blitzes or how many guys you want to send. But then again, how healthy is he going to be coming back? So I don't expect we to see their real defense probably to like the end of November.
End of the season. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, end of November, I would say you will start to see his real value as he gets worked himself out, game shape, conditioning. There's like you said, there's a lot of things to consider in that space.
Yeah. Okay. Um, and then who was the other team? The Bills. I mean, the Bills are always good. You wanna put them up there, but something seems to be not right or not clicking with them. And
I
they kind
agree.
of getting themselves into danger zone where they're gonna be fighting for a playoff spot. So, um, I
Real
guess I
soon.
put them yeah, I mean, I guess I still put them I think they still better than Miami, actually. So I'm gonna put them ahead of Miami. So like at 3. Um, and then yeah, oh Jacksonville. I respect Jacksonville.
They they
Yeah,
grinding.
they grind in Cleveland. I think their defense is really good, but something's going on with the offense and the quarterback situation. So, I don't know how serious to take them moving forward. It seems like they always got something that ends up happening with them. So
Oh,
I guess
yeah,
I'll evaluate later.
something's definitely weird.
Yeah, something's going on. So, until they figure that out, then I can't say that I can't put them ahead of those other teams. So yeah, I mean, around there, I would take Jacksonville right now, actually, ahead of Cleveland.
I don't know. I think Cleveland beat the brakes off of Jacksonville if they played. They're too physical.
I don't know. Maybe so. Maybe so.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure it happened, but if I had to pick one, I'm picking. I'm taking them because, like I said, I think they beat the. I think they beat the. I think they beat the brakes off them.
Like,
Only
what
because I
weeks
think
do
that
they
defense.
decide to show up? Because some weeks they don't show up and they get 30 balled, and then
Who
some weeks they decide they want to play. So
who
I'm
get 30
figuring
balls?
out with them, the
Cleveland.
Cleveland
That
Browns
who's the last team to 30 ball them?
last week. Yeah, I think somebody scored 30. The Colts scored 30 against them last week.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And before then,
Mm,
Ravens had 30.
yeah, I think that's it. No, good point. I don't know. I don't. I just think they got to get some more out the quarterback position. I think that's their only weakness right now, which is crazy because they're spending $200 million on it. So to that to be your worst position to play, it kind of sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, so they need to take the personality that is their team, man. They're gonna play defense every week because they don't have no choice. So I want to see them like
Yeah.
take some ownership and be in that defense little more what they're
And Deshaun
doing.
Watson needs to decide what he wants to do. Do he want to play or he don't?
See, but that seems like there's a medical miscommunication going on. Somebody's trying to clear him saying he can play, and he like, no, my shoulder is worse than what y'all claiming it to be. So I can't, I don't know. I think if he was healthy, he'll be out there playing, but seems to be some
I mean, last week was a concussion issue and they cleared him, but he said he wasn't clear to go out there and play. So I don't really know. I don't even have a side to believe anymore because they say they medically cleared them. And it's very rare you see people clear a concussion protocol. So for him to say he was fine, he wasn't fine, and them to say he was fine, it's just a stick. It's a weird situation over there.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie with you. I'm with you, but somebody needs to be upfront about it because there's some sticky stuff going on there, and we're gonna find out. But right now, it's just some weird, like you said, some weird stuff going on there.
because even like the coach had to step in essentially and like take it, um, kind of like protect him. Essentially, like, hey, you know, he's gonna take care of his shoulder, and we'll talk about that when he gets back healthy. Because for a while they, it's almost like they was sending him out there to fend for himself. Like, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's some weird stuff, but
Probably trying to hurt him. It could be. I mean, I don't want to say nobody could hurt him or anything else like that, but I mean,
because he
it's
didn't
all on the
play
table.
last year. You know what I'm saying? So for them, it's
Yeah,
probably like, yo, man,
we gotta get our return of our investment real
you
quick.
you know what I mean? Like, is your shoulder might be hurt, but is it hurt? You know what I'm
Yeah, you gonna
saying?
play. You know what I'm saying? And he like, hey, I'm just getting back in this. I may not be able to move like you want me to move. So it's a very, very interesting situation going on there. But if he plays, I think they beat anybody
Yeah, no,
and
they're a
healthy.
tough team. They're a tough team with if they got a functioning quarterback for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I before we get into games, man, I had one more another thing, man, I wanted to talk about, man. You as sports bettors, man, you really gotta understand that there's no attachment to any of these teams, man. You might play a team one week, and you may have to bet against them the next week. You
Immediately.
immediately. Um, and where you can really get you some get some bread is if you can do it even quicker in game. If you can see it while a game is going on and like, all right, I see something with this not going right with this side, I'm gonna play the other side
Yeah,
as
I'm playing the
well.
side real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So a couple of situations happened this past week, man. I thought I'd just share, man. Just understand these teams are, you know, you looking to find ones that you familiar with that you can make some money with, but you also gotta be able to bet the other side against them. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, no, that was it. I thought I'd just share that little tidbit, man. Let's go ahead and jump into the slate of games here. We got 6 games for this NFL Week 8. Let's see. First one we got here, we got the Jets versus the Giants. Jets favorite 3, total 36.5. Look ahead was Jets -3, total of 36.5, so no change at all there. Jets coming off a bye week, but before that, they got a big win at home, 20-14 versus the Eagles. And the Giants coming off a upset win at home, 14-7 versus Washington. Um, what's your it's a battle of New York teams, man. What are you thinking in this matchup right here?
Um, I think we can kind of go either side with this one, man. I'm just trying to think here. And coming off a bye week, I think is always good for a team. I feel like the Jets are in a good confidence spot. They win, they go 4-3. They make that step closer, and I think if they can win this weekend, it comes to a point where the confidence goes through the roof for the team, and they may be starting to believe more about what they could potentially do. I think when Aaron Rodgers got lost, it took the breath out of them. Him coming back to that team, kind of just giving them more confidence, more intensity. You can just tell they've played different since the Chiefs game. Even though they lost, they've played better and more disciplined, a little more energy. The defense has been, playing out this world. So I think that'll help. The other hand is I don't even know about the other side, man. I don't know what the hell is going on over there. Um, it's a disaster. Um, are they gonna trade Saquon?
Oh, you
In
asked
your
me?
in your opinion,
I don't think
think
so.
so? Are they on a fire sale over there? I heard Dexter Lawrence name in the trade. I mean, we don't know what to make about them over there. It's a lot. I think this is a good spot for the Jets to come in and dominate. And when I actually have them on the actual cover, and then Tyrod Taylor playing is fine. I just think he's going to be underlying distress this weekend, and I can see him throwing a couple picks this week against a team who's come off of a bye, probably more healthy and have more to play for than what the Giants do.
Yeah. No, this is a it's gonna be a ugly game here as well. I have no real opinion on the side. Honestly, I could see it go any way, either way, just because either one of these offenses can uh can just implode at any moment. I feel like, Giants can't block. They're going to play very conservative. And I think that game plan is out there right now. So I think the Jets having an extra week to kind of see what they want to do. I think that'd be an advantage. The Jets, I'm not, yeah, Zach Wilson, has some decent games the past few weeks, but I don't want to forget that he's Zach Wilson and that, you know, um, there's a chance for him to make erratic plays. And I think the Giants defense is starting to get a little bit comfortable. I like the way they played the past few weeks.
Definitely,
Um,
man.
and and another thing that keeps me off the side is, I mean, even though feel like it's a great momentum spot for the Jets, they're like 36% off of buys, just straight up, in general win loss. So I just, I'm not sure how they react off the bye. I was one of the things that I have noted, even in the past, is they always say, when you're playing good football, you really don't like to go into a bye because it destroys your rhythm. Versus if you're playing bad, a bye is good because you get to, collect yourselves and, get it together. So sometimes it can um, be a momentum killer. So the side I don't have no thoughts on. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. The Giants have trouble scoring points in general. They have trouble creating points in other facets of the game, like special teams and defense. So it's just going to be tough for them to come by points. So, I don't have any official bets on this game. I lean towards the under 36 and a half. And last point, the fact that this line and this total hasn't changed tells me that the result is already set. And they don't care what money comes on either way. Or maybe it's even
Definitely.
money either way. I'm sure,
Yeah, good point.
but yeah. Yeah, it's not a game I want to watch, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, I won't be watching it at all either. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's gonna be a boring fest. If you want to see good defense, I think the defense will be hard hitting on each side, but I think that's it.
Yeah, I mean it's a battle in New York, so they're gonna play with some pride, without a doubt. So yeah, it's a low total, but yeah, I lean under the 36 and a half. Maybe the first half, total under, which, if I had to in my head, it'd probably be like 18 and a half. Um, I'll probably lean that direction. And I think we were talking about the Giants before, early in the season, that how slow it starts that they get off
Yeah,
to.
man, they finally scored their first quarter. They won their first half last week for the first time in all season. So that was a key stat, which
I
is
tell you,
crazy to think.
I I tell you what, and we didn't post this, but I did the Giants +2 was my best look of the week. I did play them on a teaser, but in game when they was up 14-0 and they muffed that punt, I played Washington in game +7.5. I was like, they might not hold on to this lead.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. And if you can get seven there, get it.
yeah, but yeah, that's all I got on this one.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, that was it for me.
Cool. Next game we got here, we got the Jags versus Steelers. Steelers favored 2.5, total 42. Look ahead on this one was Jacksonville favored 1.5, total 41. So a little bit of Jacksonville money and some money on the over there. On the over there as well, excuse me. Last week, Jacksonville coming off the 31-24 win at New Orleans. That was Thursday night football. And the Steelers coming off the 24-17 win on the road versus the Rams. What are you thinking here about in this AFC matchup?
I actually like the Steelers in this game. I feel like they've gained some confidence. They're starting to. The offense is still coming off slow. I think their running game has picked up a little bit. Defense seems to be hungrier, flying over the place. Seems like they're getting settled in, playing that Mike Tomlin football. Jared Goff moved the ball, but I feel like they.
Oh, wait. You said my bad. You said
Steelers, right?
okay. You said Jared Goff. All right, my bad.
Did I say Jared Goff? Oh, Matt
Yeah.
Stafford. Yeah, Matt Stafford. They put a little smother on Matt Stafford, so I think he threw the ball well, but I think they were making him second guess his throws a lot. And I think overall, I think they're moving. I think they're overachieving, still. But I think this is a spot for the Jaguars where it's a letdown. They're super high confidence. They haven't been playing great defense, so I mean, they gave up 24 points against the damn Saints, and that's just for me is like Saints haven't figured out what they're doing on offense yet, so it's kind of Ricker. So I would think this is a spot where I think the Steelers put up some early points. I actually like the Steelers in the first half, and I think they can play better with a lead than they can from behind. So I expect them to come out and do a little damage. I think Kevin really gets off in this game, so I'll be looking at his catches or his yards, and then and I think I'm good with that for this game.
Okay. So you like the Steelers and Calvin Ridley?
Still, I think I'm leaning towards Steelers first half. I think the Steelers probably still cover the game, but I like them on the first half.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, this game, I don't have I don't have any thoughts on the side. Um, I was looking at the total over in this game, but looking at some other over angles, team Jags, team total over. I will say I'm not sold on this Pittsburgh defense. They do get the most pressures on the quarterback, but it's very skewed towards TJ Watt. And when they don't get pressure on you, they give up a lot of yards. I mean, this is a Steelers team. I made money betting against them and on them. They were my upset of the week last week
Yeah.
on the podcast. So I just feel they've been overachieving, and their defense is not that good. They give up a lot of yardage, a lot of big plays. They've been struggling with when they play against teams that got an outside receiver. It's like one of their top options. They struggle. I mean, they gave up like 150 yards to Puka last
Yeah, he
week.
was eating.
He was eating. So I do agree with you on that really prop. I actually like his yards over because he's also coming off a one catch week last week. He had one catch for 5 yards. So I think he's going to get targets. And I think he'll make some plays. So I'm leaning towards his yards, but I couldn't talk you off his catches either. Your look.
Yeah, I think they gotta get him involved pretty early. And see how that part works. Christian Kirk has been eating too, so it's kind of been like a collective type of offense. But I think they go as far as he goes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like really more in this game just because he plays on the outside, and that's where they've been really struggling. They had guys on the outside every single week.
Gotta be watching
At
that
big
film
games.
in
Yeah,
the Rams and
absolutely.
saying, okay, if this rookie can get this amount of catches, this many yards, we should be able to turn it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it's every game. They just if you have a top option or that plays on the outside, whoever is their cornerback, yeah, it's just not working over there. Um, And the Rams rushed for 135 yards against them, and the Rams don't really even have that great of an offensive line or rush offense in general.
I agree.
Just a few stats if you do like the Jags. Jacksonville 7-0 ATS last 7 games on the road. 13-6 and 1 ATS last 20 games versus Pittsburgh. Jacksonville 5-1 ATS last 6 on the road versus Pittsburgh. So this is a team that Pittsburgh has typically had issues with, dating back even when Ramsey was back in Jacksonville and Antonio Brown. I don't know what it was, but this team gave them fits.
No, for real.
But yeah, no thoughts on the side. I'm looking at Ridley and I'm looking at Jacksonville team total over are my two looks on this one.
Done with that.
Cool. All right, next game we got the Rams versus the Cowboys. Dallas favors 6.5, total 44.5. Look ahead on this one was Dallas -6, total 45. So half a point movement. Looks like towards the Rams and towards the under on this. Rams coming off that 24-17 loss at home versus Pittsburgh, and the Cowboys were on a bye week, but their previous game they won 20-17 at Los Angeles against the Chargers. Stafford returning back home, man, playing against the Cowboys, man. What do you think about this matchup right here? What's your angle?
I think this is where we start seeing the Rams for who they really are. I think the Cowboys have to win to keep pace with the Elite Two in the NFC. Come off a bye gives them a chance to reset and play. The Rams running game, I think it's not going to be the same with the injuries. I think the Cowboys can spread the Rams out if they play well. If they commit to what they're doing. Even think the little short screens they can run, the little the options out of the shotgun. I think they got a chance to move the needle a little bit. That week gave their offensive line some time to get healthier. I don't think they've really been healthy all season. So I think the advantage, if they can keep Dak upright and keep Aaron Donald in this spot, I think it'll be plenty of time for Dak pretty much to pick apart this defense. I think the Rams just overachieved all the way through. I mean, I think the Rams can move the Rams can move the ball against the Cowboys, but I think it'll get to the spot where how many times does Stafford get hit before he starts seeing ghosts essentially, because they're gonna come at him, they're gonna blitz him, and I would say at this game I'm leaning more towards the Cowboys, but I also like Stafford to throw an interception.
Yeah. No, that's one of my question marks on this game. How do the Rams block up front? Because that's going to be big. I see this game either going one or two ways. Either it's going to be a close shootout, or the Cowboys are going to blow them out, and the Rams not going to really score.
Not gonna really score, yeah.
Not going to really score many points. I'm not sold on the Rams defense. I think in the stats they look fine, but I'm watching the game and they don't tackle well. They don't have much speed. They don't have a lot of speed, I feel like. And they give up yards. So, this game I don't have a side because I don't bet sides when it comes to the Cowboys games. I play,
Squad, yeah.
yeah, player props or
That's the rule.
stuff like that, but I don't bet sides with them. But I do kind of lean toward the team total over 26.5. I think the Rams are going to have to have no choice really but to be in positions to throw the ball. They'll try to establish a run, but they are down running back, so I don't know how successful it'd be. But if that's the case, you're going to have some clock stoppage, some incomplete passes. I think the Cowboys will be able to probably generate some opportunities for defensive touchdowns as well. So, yeah, I think they score this week. I think they'll have to. And usually at home they want to, put a stamp on games like this, especially against the Rams. This is one usually one of the games they usually take pride in this this Rams matchup for some reason past few years. But yeah, and they're averaging over 30 at home this season as well. So that's
Good point.
yeah, that's the way I'm leaning. Dallas team total over 26.5.
Got you. I like that too. Even Dallas team total looks interesting to play too. Write that down too. What about Cooks? I wonder if he gonna play?
I didn't see they had anybody on the injury report
Yeah,
significant.
I'm gonna look at this Cooks playing against his old squad, and I don't know. McVay did him kind of dirty, shipped him off kind of dirty. Heard there was a story behind that, so I would see that as a narrative bet if he doesn't want to get a little payback.
Yeah, I mean they need to find a way to include him in the offense for sure. So I wouldn't be
Got you.
surprised if he has a big game, catch a long touchdown pass. Yeah, I mean this will be a tough game for the Rams defense. I think that'll be challenging. I agree with you on the fact that I think they're in a position where they kind of are going to start being who they're probably supposed to be this season. That's a team that's not that good, a little below average, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Cool. You got anything else on that one?
Mm-mm.
All right, cool. Next game, we got the Saints versus the Colts. Right now, it looks like the Saints are favored 1.5, total of 43.5. Look ahead on this one was actually New Orleans 5, total of 40. Saints coming off that loss at home, 31-24 versus Jacksonville, and the Colts coming off a 39-38 loss at home against Cleveland last week. Pretty crazy game. What's your thoughts on this AFC matchup right here?
Man, I want to bet the Saints so bad, but I'm not sure they can. I'm not sure what to make of that offense. I don't know what they're doing. It's a lot. If you watch that sideline, boy, they look like there was a lot of static going on the sideline between the player. Like there's this one shot I just watched the game earlier today again, and there's this one shot on the sideline when Derek Carr has the tight end Kamara and who else was on the sideline with him? It must have been, I don't know if it was Olave or somebody was there, but Derek Carr was talking and nobody was paying attention to him. It looked like they was kind of like, yeah, we hear you, man, but whatever. Then there's this shot of the Carmichael's, the OC, and he's up there cussing up a storm, a little quick little image. I'm just like, oh man, you guys are not in sync at all. Like, I don't think anybody knows what they're doing in that offense. Like Derek Carr is a good player, but there's players that are great. Like if this was Aaron Rodgers or Peyton Manning in a system like this, it wouldn't matter because they know what to do. They are the second line. They're OC 1B. Derek Carr, I don't see those kind of cerebral tendencies for him. So he's relying a lot on his coaching and different things like that to ascend him in his space, and he hasn't been able to achieve those things. So I'm not sure what they can do. And the Colts play solid defense, and they got a two-head running monster, which is the strength of the strength of the Saints. But like you said, man, if they get some team with some speed and they get worn out for 4 quarters, it's tough for them to win. So I don't have a side, but if I had to pick one, I'm more towards leaning towards the Saints, and Gardner Minshew would go out there and sling the rock all over the place, and for them to run the ball 30, 35 times and try to wear the Saints team down and maybe hit them with a couple play action passes for big games and nail a couple field goals, keep it close. So under, maybe a lean towards with the Colts and Derek Carr maybe under on his completions because I'm not sure there's a lot he can do this week.
Yeah. No, this game, I look at this game as these teams, I look at them as like stocks, man. I want to buy teams when they low. Nobody wants to buy the Saints this week, and I like it. And I like dysfunction too. Because usually when you got some dysfunction, the only way you can clean it up is go out there and figure it out on the field and win. Because once you win, everybody stops talking as much. So,
Yeah, winning cures all, right?
yeah, Olave getting caught, speeding and getting arrested, I think all of it. It's the Saints, man. They always,
They
ever
always in
since
a
we
little,
know, they
little
always
something,
had been
something.
in trouble, it's kind of how it goes. I will say about this Saints team, and this is another team that um also tip for the audience, man, don't try to follow every single team. Like some teams you're not gonna have a good feel for. Find a few teams that you like, that you got a comfortable with, that and follow them and figure out as much as you
Man,
can about them.
say that again. It's impossible. Like I don't follow every team. I think I'm more like a hopper. Like when me and B discuss what teams we gonna pick for the week, I will go watch both sides of each team, their last game, and then from there, like I don't have a team. Like I don't know a team well enough. And if we happen to bet them more often, yeah, I have a read on them. But most times I don't have a read on any team just on a week to week. Or if a new game pops up and we discuss it, oh, I remember last week they were doing this, doing that. But B is 100% right. You can't get caught tracking teams all year because they'll disappoint you at the worst time, and your money's involved, not theirs.
Yeah, no, I mean, this Saints team, I always hear, when people describe this team, they always say defense, all right, their defense is good, defense. And I'm like, okay, their defense is good. And they do got a solid defense, but they have a lot of veterans on their defense, older guys, good players, Tyrann Mathieu, Cam Jordan, those guys are good players, but when you get older, they're in their mid 30s. When you get older, you lose a little speed, you lose some quickness, and they
Mm-hmm.
have troubles with teams that are quick and that got speed. So, um, this week though, I don't think the matchup really entails that. They got a couple of guys. I think Downs, the receiver, quick guy. He's from North Carolina. He may cause, some issues in a matchup here or there. But I think overall, I don't think they outmatch in this matchup as far as speed wise. I mean, Indy wants to run the ball. I think New Orleans can play the run with them. So to me, I think they get a chance to play against a backup quarterback in a desperation situation against a team that I don't feel poses as many threats as a team
Yeah.
like the Jaguars. They got speed and guys you gotta, really pay attention to to their attack. Um
I
Also this
agree.
was a last time the Derek Carr played this Carr team, man, he got kind of emotional on the podium. I think he had shed some tears. They was having a bad season. Um and then coming into this game, you got some people questioning his if he's the guy anymore. And his success versus the Colts in the past, he has 103.5 passer rating, 1,484 yards, 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions in 6 games versus the Colts. And his Colts defense is solid, but you can pass the ball against them. They'll give up some completions to you. So, I actually look at the other side, lean that way as far as like Derek Carr's completions. I think this would be a game he's gonna have to make some plays in the passing game. Um, and I think they got enough weapons to attack them in the passing game this week. So I think they kind of
I
figure it
agree
out.
with you. I agree with you on that.
But yeah, this is my best bet of the week, man. I took New Orleans plus 1.5 earlier in this week, like Monday. I was actually surprised they were underdogs. It's flipped to they're now favorite 1.5. Um, I'm on the Saints. I am on the Saints this week. That's my top play this week. I'm gonna scope some other stuff, but I'm locked into that one already.
Good. Okay. Good. Good.
Cool. Any let me see. Some just some little ATS trends I found here as well. New Orleans 8-2 against the spread last 10 games versus Indy. New Orleans 9-2 straight up last 11 games versus Indy. 12-5 straight up last 17 games versus the AFC South. And 10-0 straight up in the last 10 games played in week 8. I like the spot here for the Saints. You got anything else on that one?
No, nothing else on that one. I'm on it now.
Cool. All right, next game we got here, we got the Eagles versus the Commanders. Philadelphia favorite 6.5, total 43.5. Look ahead on this one was Philly favorite 6, total 45.5. Last week, Eagles coming off a win. That was Sunday night football, 31-17 versus Miami. And the Commanders coming off that 14-7 loss. That was at the New York Giants division loss right there. We got an NFC East game right here. Eagles Commanders. What do you first of all, what is where would you say the Commanders are right now as a football team? Because they seem to be a little bit scattered. Like, what is it looking like for them in your opinion?
I don't even know what to make of them, honestly. I feel like they can't block. They got a quarterback who's probably not experienced enough to run and build a B-enemy offense. The defense is a mess. They got a Hall of Fame coach over there, Hall of Fame coach. They got Hall of Fame players over there as coaches. They got all the talent in the world. I just don't know what to make. And I don't know. I think the season was a bust for them regardless. I think Ron Rivera's the only one in B-enemy. They both had a lot to prove if they belong in the league per se. I think that was a lot of energy they have been carrying per se with themselves. But I mean, this is a fire sale situation. I think they'll start to. Chase Young don't want to be there. They don't want to pay him. They even pick up his option. So I think you could trade him and kind of decide how you want to move forward. I mean, your quarterback Sam Howell is on pace to break Derek Carr's record for the most sacks in the season. I don't even know what they're doing over there. But I mean, there's a lot of investigation going on over there still. It's just a lot of stuff going on, like, it's old stuff that's still resurfacing. And what we say about new management, they want to hire who they want to hire.
Yeah.
So new management's on its way, or it's already there, but it's still that transition period. So what's going to happen? The whole team is going to get wiped. The whole front office is getting wiped, from coaching staff, GMs, everybody's getting wiped. So I don't know if there's a real play there, but I think it's pretty much done.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about them either, man. I will say to Jonathan, and it's as a Cowboys fan, I always enjoy seeing the Commanders in disarray. So it's always good to see that. Jonathan Allen had an all-time rant of just disgust with his football club, but yeah, I'm with you. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on here. They're
Can't blame
week
them
to
either.
week. Yeah. You mentioned this before in another show, like they are just a week to week team. Just depends on how they feel that week. So I feel like they're going to come out and give focus and effort after that. It probably wasn't a pleasant locker room to be around, but it seems like even their coaching staff just has cross dynamics, that's just not working. Like they continue to just, try to throw the ball 40, 50 times a game, leaving the quarterback out there, and they actually got a good running back. I don't know why they don't run the ball more, but it's
That's
just
another
not
issue.
mixing. Yeah, it's not mixing over there. Something's got to give. So,
I agree.
but I'm not thrilled. They do typically play the Eagles tough in this matchup, so I'm not thrilled to go take Philly 6.5. But what stands out to me in this game is the total. These teams
Mhm.
came off a 34-31 overtime shootout last time they played. So for this total to be as low as it is, lower than the last matchup is weird. How do you feel? What do the Commanders have to do to win this game, to cover the spread, to win this game? Like, what does this game have to look like for them?
Be on their way to Jalen Hurts' house right now and kidnap him. that's
Yeah,
that's
that's about
about it.
it, huh?
I mean, if they can get protection, is this a bad though? The team that gives us the most sacks going against the D line that's unstoppable is just that's where the game starts. I don't even think it's going to be a high scoring game. I can see like a 27-3, 27-6, something like that. I'm not even sure they score a touchdown. Honestly,
That
there's no
that the
time to throw the
Commanders
ball.
scored a touchdown. Okay.
Yeah, they'll kick field goals. I don't know if they score a touchdown.
Mm.
Sam Howell gets sacked. What's the number? 5, 6 times maybe. I don't know. I just know it's this is not a good matchup for them. I think on the other side, the Eagles have to look at this as a rhythm building. They've been okay. Their offense hasn't, to me, hit that final level yet of where they can go. So
I
they,
can
they
agree
need
with that.
they need to use a game to kind of get grounded for their offense. I would say.
I can agree with that. I think you definitely can't come into this game taking it light. That's for sure. Because the Commanders gonna come into this game. I think that you're gonna get good effort from them. How long it lasts, or um, how effective it is. I can't put my finger on that, but I think initially they'll be focused. I mean, what is? Yeah, I'm kind of agreeing as far as what you mentioned. I had this on here on my notes as well. To me, it looks like this is gonna be a game. And when I see 6.5. I typically look towards the underdog because I feel like but to me this feels like it's gonna be a game where Philly blow them out and Washington, like you said, Washington just don't score a lot of points. Like Philly,
Mm-hmm.
like Philly covered this spread and it's just not much scoring because the total being so low. I don't know if Washington can beat them in a low scoring game. They gotta score points. Because outside their front four, the Commanders' front four, they don't have much. I seen one clip of the Jonathan Allen having to help his linebacker, um, which gap he needed to fill. I'm like, okay, these dudes are carrying the load up here, and they don't really have any help outside of that. So yeah, I can only look towards the Eagles
Yeah,
in
the
this
only
game.
side
Or maybe the Commanders team total under, or maybe
under. Yeah,
Commanders the quarterback Howell throw an interception. He probably gonna have to
that
throw a lot. Um
yeah. Even if they don't throw, even if he don't throw the ball out, he gonna get sacked no matter what happens.
yeah,
I want to see if there's a stat for Jalen Carr to get a pick. A sack.
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it is. It's not many props out at all right now. But yeah, that's all I kind of got on this game. This is that's kind of a weird one, but some talking points for sure.
Definitely.
Anything else on that one?
Nah, nothing for me.
All right, cool. We got one more game here. We got the Bengals versus the Niners. Niners
Woo-wee.
favorite 3.5, total 43.5. Look ahead on this one was San Francisco minus 6.5, total 45.5. There was a injury. Brock Purdy, quarterback, got ruled out, so we'll have Sam Darnold under center for the Niners.
Oh wow, I
Bang,
didn't see that.
yeah, that's why this line dropped. Um,
Mm, okay, okay.
Bengals coming off a win at home, 17-13 versus Seattle. And the Niners coming off a short week, Monday night win on Monday Night Football, 22-17 at Minnesota.
Man.
A loss at Minnesota.
What they rule Brock Purdy out for, man?
The report was they showed a hit, like I guess he went in QB sneak and they showed a hit. The dude ran in, helmet to helmet, and then they say he had concussion symptoms while on the plane on the
Yeah,
way back.
that sucks. Road to recovery for Brock Purdy if he's really hurt. I hope they're just not protecting him because they lit him up in the media. So I hope everything's well with Purdy and he gets better. Um, I think the Bengals gonna roll them. I think it's
Oh,
bless
excuse me.
you.
Thank you.
I think it's gonna be on the space where Bengals gotta look at this and see the second string quarterback coming in. Niners is reeling. They don't know what to do, and I think they're gonna try to spread the Niners out, and they're gonna throw the quick screens, quick passes, and I think this is gonna be a game where I think they'll probably win comfortably probably about 6 or 7 points, maybe as much as 10. I think the Bengals had time to rest, reset that calf. Only thing concerns me is that the Niners come out aggressive and they're gonna try to make Joe Burrow uncomfortable and force him into some bad decisions. So I could see a pick from him too. But I think overall, I think the Bengals got a lot right now. Trent Williams playing, I didn't see him seem questionable.
Yeah, I didn't see him on the injury report.
Yeah, so he'll play, so of course. But yeah, I like the Bengals this game. I do think the Niners are going to move the ball against the Bengals. I just think it's going to be a shootout. I don't know how much drop off we're going to see in quarterback play either between Sam Darnold and Brock Purdy. To be honest with you, I think Sam Darnold they trade Trey Lance for a reason. They like Sam Darnold in this spot. This is why they brought him on. And I'll tell you this: if he doesn't play well, they're going to trade for a quarterback as a backup if he doesn't play well this week. So I think this is a chance for Sam Darnold to kind of redeem himself and keep himself in the league too. I just don't think it'll be enough against a team who's what, third in their division right now, the Bengals, third in their division behind
No,
the
I
fourth.
think they
They
last.
last,
Yeah.
yeah, last. So I don't think they can afford to lose. I think they got a lot of ground to make up, and you get catch the Niners when they don't have their starting quarterback as a way to win.
Yeah. Um, it's definitely they definitely got to make up some ground. And I will say it feels like they're kind of starting to get into a little groove here as well, get their confidence back. I'm not sure still what to think of this of the defense. They started off not doing too well. They had a good game last week, but I also don't know if that's maybe because Seattle's offense has regressed a little bit as well, because even last week they didn't really score much against the Cardinals, and I was actually on that game too. So
Okay.
I would say that's the that to me that's still the unknown about the Bengals. The Niners, um, I definitely can see not a whole lot of drop off from the two quarterbacks. I mean, it's a system. They typically can get production out of backup quarterbacks. They're going to run the ball, do what they do. Um, and like I agree with you. I think they'll be able to move the ball because the Bengals. Um, I think the Bengals have to, where they can win this game, or where they're going to have to win this game, is they're going to have to attack the Niners through the air, spread them out, and throw the football, attack them through the air. I don't think there'll be too much for them to get as far as trying to generate a run game. But
Mm-hmm.
they can pass the ball against the Niners. A lot of shotgun formation, so Burrow can have time to see what's going on. So in this game, actually, I don't have a play on the side. I kind of like Joe Burrow's passing attempts
Okay.
over. Um, I think, well, I mean, they're underdogs in this game, so if they're losing, he's definitely going to be throwing the ball almost every down. And I think even when they're ahead, in order to continue to move the chains and keep their defense, off the field, they're gonna have to throw the ball. And like you said, I think I could see a lot of quick passes, quick throws on schedule, just to keep things rolling and keep him upright not getting not getting sacked. So his passing attempts is what I'm looking at. Cincinnati is 7-0 straight up versus the NFC last 7 games. San Francisco's 10-0 straight up last 10 home games. I think this is going to be a battle of third down. Who gets off third down? If Cincy can get off the field on third down against the Niners, and can Cincy convert third downs and keep their offense on the field against San Francisco's defense is the battle that I'm looking at in this game. But yeah, Joe Burrow passing attempts over is my look here. It's not out yet, but if I had to guess, I'll probably say it might be close to 40, maybe like 38.5, something like that.
I like that. Yeah.
Cool. You got anything else on this one?
No, nothing for me else on this one. This would be the game I would look forward to watching out of all games this week.
Cool. Yeah.
This is my most popular one. I actually want to see.
No, that's gonna be fun to watch for sure. That's the Sunday night game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, you got any thoughts or plays on games that we didn't discuss before we get
I
to our
actually did.
underdog of the week?
Yeah, I wrote one down. I guess I could throw my underdog in the week at the same time. I had let me pull out my notes here. Oh yeah, we both we will talk about the Carolina, but I think Bryce Young gets the first win. That was the underdog. Believe it or not, I think the Patriots gonna make this game a lot closer, and I'm kind of almost leaning to the upset on that game. But I also like the Packers um, as underdog too this week. I usually don't bet on my own team, but this is just about spots for me. And I've seen a lot of things that the Vikings did well, but I think what they didn't do well is what the Packers do well as a counter, and I think the Packers are going to upset them this week.
There you go. With the 1.5 point
Mm-hmm.
underdogs at home. You don't usually get Green Bay as a home underdog, so
But peep
I
this
can't
though,
knock
one
that.
and a half, and their money line is minus 106.
Oh, got
And
you.
they and the Packers are at home, so a little bit of different thing going on. So I like that. I like that a lot actually.
Well, it looks like that's just the general money line number. It's the same
Yeah,
for the Colts Saints game,
Colts
one
too.
and a
Okay.
half. Yeah. Cool. All right. I think I gave all I had on as far as picks I had. I just go with my underdog. It's the same Carolina. I think Carolina, this number been sitting at 3 for a whole week, hasn't moved at all. And um Houston hasn't done too well off the bye weeks. So, I think Carolina gets the first win this week. I just something about that game just looks a little off. And remember Carolina's season win total. And this is what I used last week to kind of gauge what I thought on that Commanders Giants game. Like those season win totals are good gauges. As far as what parts of the season teams are going to get wins. Like I look back at that Giants game. One reason I liked it is because you look back at their schedule over the past 5 weeks, and outside of the Cardinals, they played a playoff team every single week, and not just a playoff team, but a playoff team with a good defense. So,
Mm-hmm.
their win total was like 7-2. So it's like, okay, these books are not going to be off on the win total by a whole
Yeah,
lot of
for sure.
games. So, when I saw they only got one win and they need 7 for the year, we're in week 7. Okay, so this got to be a scheduled win right here, in this
I
situation.
agree.
And going back, the Carolina Panthers win total was 7.5. They haven't won a game yet.
Oh wow.
So, they
Yeah,
got to
I
have.
did. Yeah, I did see that too. And it's like I said, the first week of a one-on-one team makes it between CJ and Bryce makes it good.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's my underdog of the week, Carolina +3, and then I had New Orleans +1.5, but they are no longer underdogs in this game. And then both our underdogs were good last week as far as just from what we said on the show. But cool. You got anything else?
I didn't see anything else. I didn't see anything else on that at all.
I think your screen turned off.
Yeah, I didn't see anything else on that right now. I think I like a couple of player props. I just hate that the player props are coming on so late. I feel like they should be coming on at least early enough to give us some time to look at it per se. But I like Bryce Young to throw over 2 touchdowns this week. So I think that's a big one for me. What else did I have? And then I liked does Josh Allen one? Oh yeah, Josh Allen one did come on this. Josh Allen, I think passing touchdowns, I had him as over 1.5. It's juiced a little higher. It was at 146. It's at 156 now. So I'm looking at that. It gets a little parlay per se. And I expect Stephon Diggs to come back and get busy this week. So I like his over 86.5 yards as well too.
Cool. Dropping some other picks up in there. Yeah, I just reviewed what I had. I had my top play of week 8 is New Orleans Saints +1.5. New Orleans on the money line. Carolina +3 as the underdog. Jacksonville team total over 22.5. Lean towards the full game total 42 as well. Dallas team total over 26.5. And then player props, Calvin Ridley over receiving yards. Joe Burrow over passing attempts, Derek Carr over completions. And that's mine for week 6. Yeah, man, appreciate y'all joining us, man. We'll have the free picks out, this week. But yeah, no, just keep in mind every weekend in the week to throw bets out there. So, we might do that another week this season. Just so you're aware, but we don't want to force anything. So
absolutely, like you said, it's good to take breaks and reevaluate yourself, step back, and maybe just watch some games sometimes. Like I said, there's always money to be made. There's always a pick, but sometimes, like I said, your money is attached to this. Like he said, man, just be cautious. Treat it like the stock market. Take the win, most importantly.
Man, no, straight up. But yeah, no, you can give you the contact information again. You can always catch us via email. Reach out whenever. Send pics, show suggestions. Thoughts. Stuff you want to hear us talk about or break down when it comes to sports betting. Always send that to us. team@MyGuyzSports.com. That's the email, team@MyGuyzSports.com. The company IG, MyGuyz_sports, and the Twitter is @MyGuyzSports. I'm Bsperl. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, Sperl Online. And then Rich got Twitter and IG as well. Twitter is Moneyline Rich W. IG is Moneyline Rich Will. Appreciate y'all tuning in. This was All Bets In, Season 2, Episode 8 with MyGuyz Sports, NFL Week 8. Hope y'all get some money.
Get some money.
Peace.
Peace out.
Thanks for tuning in to All Bets In with MyGuyz Sports.
MyGuyz Sports.
Check us out next time and remember to bet responsibly.